Not everyone can afford to get their hands on a fully firing historic touring car, but Bianti Model Cars provides the next best thing: exact model replicas.
Take, for example, an XY Falcon. We have nearly 500 individual photographs of every component on the car. 2 engineers measure everything, even how far the petrol cap sticks out.
But Trev, you've moved on to the more glamorous side of the motor racing industry, haven't you?
Yes, I have indeed. The pit girls have always been popular with everybody. And I thought, well, let's make a model of one of them.
Elise, you're such a perfect girl, they've made a model after you.
Yeah, it's quite an honour actually. I've been working with Bianti for over a year now, and it's like working with a family, so it's quite an honour.
What was it like when they said we want to make a model of your exact figure?
It's quite weird actually, thinking that thousands of people will be touching you and having you on their desks, so...
Mark Howard really getting in the thick of things there before the start of the Bianti Historic Touring Car Series for 2005. Let's check out the grid. Brad Tilley and Jack Elsgood's an all-Ford front row. Paul Stubber in the big Chev Camaro and Chris Stilwell in the Mustang round out the top 2 rows. Steve Mason and Robert Braun on the Chargers up there in the top 6. Greg Topher. Plenty of cars here. Always strong fields attracted to the Bianti Historic Touring Car Series. Tremendous spread of cars across a number of fabulous years of historic touring car racing, and never shortage of action when these guys get on the streets of Adelaide. 3.22 kilometres the distance, concrete walls right around. Let's hope they can get away cleanly. Beautiful start from Jack Elsgood in the yellow Falcon. You see the way he's shifting up gears there, giving it everything as he tries to race Tilley down to the first turn. Gets in front too, and he'll lead this big pack through the chicane for the first time. Tilley in second, Mason in third, Stilwell in fourth. Joining us in commentary, Craig Baird. Boy, these cars look like a real handful on this street circuit, Craig.
Yeah, coming through turn 1 there is very, very tight, and this is a massive field, so good effort by all, really, to be able to get through there with no dramas.
Here's a bit of a treat on board with Bill Meek in the 1964 Falcon Rally Special. This was a car built by the Ford Motor Company to win the Monte Carlo Rally back in the early 60s, and still seeing plenty of service in historic touring car racing. Meek goes to the outside, hard under brakes down into the hairpin. Boy, he's going deep here. He's gone a little bit too deep, I think, runs way offline. Up over the ripple strips, loses that spot, and manages to gather it up on the way out. And that's pretty typical of the action we see in the historic touring cars on the streets of Adelaide. Look at this battle here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars locked in this one. And we often see these cars stepping out, plenty of attitude under power, Craig, but I guess in a V8 supercar you don't have that luxury. You can't afford to play around like that.
Yeah, these guys certainly enjoy driving the cars sideways, and I think most of the guys in the V8 supercar field would like to do the same, but we don't really get a chance to do that very much. Craig Lowndes is probably one of the few that gets away with it.
Here's Bruce Dummett in the XU1 Tirana, a replay of an incident earlier, getting it all out of shape.
Yeah, he's certainly got his hands full there.
And he managed to gather it up in the final turn and get back into racing. Right around the circuit you'll see that sort of action, but a runaway victory here for Jack Elsgood. He has absolutely left the field standing in the big yellow XY Falcon GT. Comes on to the main straight for a very easy victory and maximum points in race 1 of 3 in this opening round of the Bianti series. Here's second place, Brad Tilley. Look, he left them way behind. Steve Mason in the Camaro in third, and Stilwell rounds out the top 4 places. Fifth was Simon Phillips. Look at that, some 40 seconds back from that leading quartet, so they really ran away with that one. Rob Burns, Tony Hubbard, Les Walmsley, Alistair McLean rounding out the top 10. Start of race 2. Who's going to win the drag race this time? Elsgood ran away with race 1. They're side by side as they head down toward the chicane for the second time. And it looks like Elsgood's done it again. Boy, he knows how to get that car off the line, Craig.
Yeah, you can certainly see them searching for traction when they drop the clutch off the line.
This will be such a different drive around the streets of Adelaide compared to a V8 supercar. Look at the way they bump over the brakes, they pitch, they squat under power. Real handful here. All problems back in the pack. And is that it's Dummett again, Bruce Dummett? Yes, we saw him in trouble in race 1. Let's have a look at this from the overhead.
Yeah, he's just been caught out by the concertina effect there. Everyone slowed up in front and taken him by surprise.
Bit of damage to the Tirana there. Oh, a bit of contact between Mason and Stilwell down at the hairpin. Mason gets right out of shape, but he managed to pull it back online. Great shots here from Bill Meeks, 64 Falcon Rally Special. He's been giving us some terrific shots throughout the day. And you can see he's working hard there, looking up at his mirrors, because he's got blue XU1 Tirana breathing down his neck. Final turn. Look at the attitude on that blue car as they try to get the power to the ground. Terrific stuff. Problems here for, I think it's Doug Crocott, car 39. Manages to get it back online, but look at this battle. Jack Elsgood. Brad Tilley applying plenty of pressure in the green machine. Oh, gets it sideways under power coming out of the turn. Head down toward the hairpin. Terrific racing between these two Ford drivers. Really thrilling scrap for the lead. Steve Mason in the red Camaro in third, but he can't touch the two Falcons. Here's another replay of an earlier incident. Car 25, Kim Burton in the big Ford having a spin on the final turn, but Elsgood is going to make it 2 from 2. Enormous pressure from Brad Tilley, and look at Steve Mason smoking up the rear tyres as he comes through the final turn. Okay, we're getting ready for race 3. And Elsgood make it a clean sweep. Look at Tilley, lights on, head down. Looking pretty intimidating there as we wait for blast off. Great shot from Bill Meeks' Falcon, who's mid-pack as they head off the line and charge down toward the centre chicane. Everyone holds their breath here. These cars don't have enormous brakes on them, so they do take some pulling up. Look at that car fourth. That's Paul Stubber. Had to miss out the start in race 1 when he had brake troubles. Now he's right back in the thick of things. The yellow Camaro there gets squeezed. Can't take the track away from Steve Mason. But this looks like a great battle for the lead here, Craig. Yeah, it's good to see these guys always give themselves a nice amount of room. They don't go bashing and crashing into each other too much. It's really nice. It's just good, clean racing. There does seem to be a fair bit of respect. Oh, look at Stubber, hard under brakes into the final turn. He's putting the muscle on Tilley. Side by side, there may have even been a touch there too. What a fantastic scrap. Stubber takes the lead. Tilley back to second. Elsgood in third. Mason in fourth. And Stillwell rounds out the top 5. Let's have a look at this on our replay. What a brilliant move. Round the outside, I think it almost took him by surprise there. He went to jump on the brakes and had to pull out to avoid him. They did kiss too, the front guards. But as you say, there's plenty of respect here. These are very expensive machines. Under the historic rules, they're not allowed to run with sponsorship displayed on the cars, so these guys have to fund this racing out of their own pocket, and as a result, there is a fair amount of mutual respect. Great victory to Stubber, fighting back after a rotten start to round 1, and he'll take victory in race 3, and he's pretty happy about that too. Tilley comes in second, Elsgood third, Steve Mason fourth, and Stillwell rounding out the top 5. A fantastic battle on the streets of Adelaide for round 1 of the Bianti Historic Touring Car Series. Simon Phillips, again, a big gap between the top 5 and the rest of the field.
Jack, congratulations.
Thanks, mate. Not the result I wanted in the third race. Messed up a little bit off the start. Yeah, ended up losing it on tyres and brakes, but had fun, and I think I should win for the weekend. I had 2 firsts in the first 2 races, so good weekend.
What a tough race, you know. It's good fun. I didn't expect Stubber to come through that quick, but anyway, and they almost ran out of brakes. It doesn't get any tougher.
Steve, great result.
Great result. What racing? That's what racing's all about. Isn't that fantastic? Third, and fourth, I think.
Get up there on the podium, enjoy the champagne.
Thanks very much.